Hello, everybody. My name is Colin McEvers.
I'm David James. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We're here today with Jermichael Mitchell.
And we're also here with Danny McBride.
Yes. And as we all have different things we do, I'm going to let everybody just take a few moments, please, and let us know what you do. Jermichael?
Yeah, so my name is Jermichael Mitchell. I'm a community and youth activist here in Salisbury, Maryland.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Daniel McBride. I'm a student up at Washington College, and I serve as the chairman of the Maryland Federation of College Republicans. Additionally, I serve as the chairman of the Upper Shore Young Republicans, the Young Republicans chapter in Kent, Queen Anne's, and Caroline County. I serve as the secretary to the Maryland Black Republican Council, and among other things that need not explaining.
Okay. Good. Awesome.
Wonderful. Well, alongside Danny, we actually recently were elected to become, chairman, of course, and I'm the vice chairman of the statewide College Republicans in Maryland, Lower Shore Young Republicans chairman, and on Thursday, this upcoming Thursday, there's going to be election for my college Republicans. So we're going to see if I'm able to run for that. But yeah, those are my titles, and yeah. Pass it off to David.
We're going to start calling you Colin Three Belt. All right, Jermichael, can you tell us some of the things that you do?
Yeah, so I coach basketball here in the community. I ran for mayor the other year. I've been politically active since I was 17 years old as far as different things here in the community. I helped when I was working for the city of Salisbury as a youth development coordinator, helped open up Troy Street, helped open up the Newton Street Community Center that we have in the community as well. So just been youth and community work here over the years.
And you got the Spectrum Project?
Yeah, I have Spectrum Project, which is one of my talk shows. I'm on Live 97.5 Everything Urban on Sundays from 12 to 1. We talk about it, Speak Facts, which is my podcast radio show.
Nice. And wow, you have to have a full plate there.
Full plate, yeah.
Wow, we hope to have you back here on Bridging the Gap. We're going to do something we call Chopping It Up. This will be our first segment of that, and this is going to be a unique thing because we're going to be giving report cards out to different areas of government here locally. Before we go any further, you actually serve on one of those boards, am I correct?
Yeah, so I serve on the Salisbury City Human Rights Advisory Committee, which serves as one of the committees under the mayor's office. We advise the mayor on all the human rights concerns that Salisbury residents may bring to us, or the mayor may turn to us to see to providing advice on.
Nice. And any projects that you are part of?
Well, yeah. So the committee's pretty dynamic. So we work on various things as things may come up. Recently, we've been working to improve the lives of some of our migrant communities here in Salisbury and just in the broader Salisbury city area, as well as recently, at least it was in today's news, we've been seeing to the crosswalk, the whole debacle surrounding the crosswalk here in Salisbury, which has been
down there by the library downtown.
Yeah, okay, right in the center of Salisbury.
Yes. I saw something about that.
Yeah, so we've been. There's been a lot of dialogue surrounding the crosswalk, and we've recently. I say recently, in November, or prior to November, we sought to address it completely. We worked with the mayor to see to something of an arts corner, which is the current move of the city at the present time. So the idea is, whereas the original model for the gay and transgender flags had been offensive to some community members, we sought to compromise, and in that we proposed the Arts Corner kind of model where citizens would submit concepts to the Public Art Committee and to the Mayor's Office, and that would be decided by the Mayor's Office and the Public Art Committee, and eventually placed onto the crosswalk for public enjoyment. So that was one of the bigger projects that's kind of coming to fruition now. I'm really proud to have been able to assist the mayor in that, I'd say, pretty monumental move here in the city. And yeah.
Now, that's not going to exclude the Pride community, is it? Like, if they want to be a part of painting, or
absolutely not. So, the mayor's been pretty adamant about involving the community in what that space may look like, and that's why we chose to see to it being a public art space. The mayor erected the Public Art Committee, and so I'd say this has been a pretty big objective of Mayor Taylor here in the city of Salisbury. And one of the biggest things that the mayor stipulated with assistance of the committee, but one of the big focuses of the mayor was to illustrate that, if somebody wants to render a concept for the crosswalk that may incorporate certain colors of the pride flag or certain nods to the pride flag or the transgender flag or whatever flag they would like to see, put onto the crosswalk. They are certainly at liberty to do so, and it'll be taken into consideration just like any other, concept or model that may be presented. Well, I suppose what I'm trying to say is that there are definitely a lot of opportunities for those in the pride community, in the transgender community, in whatever community, to make their voices heard and make their desired concepts, to allow their desired concepts to be considered. So,
Michael, you got any input on that?
Yeah, so it's also in Annapolis and a couple other cities, but again, we were one of the first ones to be orchestrated by a city for the project to be done, along with PFLAG orchestrating their part in it as well. But yeah, I mean, again, the crosswalks. I just, like I said, when it first happened, I personally thought it was opening Pandora's box, because then everyone's going to want a representation of the car road. But I agree with what the young gentleman is saying. No one's telling the LGBTQ community or the transgender community that their artists can't put in projects towards what it should look like.
We're going to go ahead and do a report card on our local elected officials and leaders. We're going to start on the city level. We're going to talk about the state of the city. We're going to start talking about the mayor's office first, and we're going to talk about the job that Mayor Randy Taylor has done. Personally, myself, I have been working with Randy for a while here, and he's been pretty. And when I call him, he answers, and if he doesn't answer, he does call me back. I feel that his back's kind of against the wall, because the previous mayor had different thoughts. There was many things that the previous mayor brought to the city that now this mayor feels like he has to undo. And I think that Mayor Taylor's doing a really good job of standing his ground. And I know it can be kind of hard at times. And if I was to give him a grade, I would give him a B+. Jermichael?
Yeah. Running against Mayor Taylor, of course, campaign-wise, we had great communication. We still have great communication. As you said, anytime I call, or myself or Kevin Lindsay calls, he always returns our calls and has open dialogue. I think he's facing a big, like you said, I ain't going to say back against the wall, but he's making a lot of people who are against what he's trying to do. What I've learned in politics is each person has their own personal experience with what they want to see for government in that area. What he wants to see is checks and balances, right? He's going back and looking at the things the former mayor did to beautify or to get to the position he is in now, and checking that, right? Are we spending money on bike lanes that was wasted? Can we redo those bike lanes to get some of our roadway back? Because again, these people are starting to cause crashes, and people don't understand those roundabouts and different things. So I feel like I would give him a B. Again, if there are some things he still needs, but I love the fact that he's fact-checking things, right? He's going back, looking at those sales. He's going back, making sure that the developers are sticking to their word. He's going back and making sure the occupancy thing, he's holding different people accountable for different things. And, he's making sure that we are not wasting funds in our budget, right? Money is needed all over the place. So to go back and make sure that you're allocating funds in the right direction is always a thing, So I would give him a B personally. Again, and there's a lot of people who are against that and say he's doing a bad job, but I personally think for what he was handed, right? He's doing a great job for what he did. For what he was handed, he's doing a great job with what he was handed.
Nice. And you're on that board. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think to build off what the two of you have said, I think not Dr. Taylor, but Mayor Taylor has been Dr. Taylor's my doctor. Mayor Taylor has been extremely responsive to the needs of the committee and the voices of the committee. Again, I don't live in Salisbury full time, but in my experience with Mayor Taylor, working both on the part of the committee and also in Salisbury Police Explorers during my high school years, Mayor Taylor has been extremely present and extremely down to earth, which I could not say about not necessarily Jake Day, but other politicians here on the shore. So specifically within the realm of town politics, yeah. So I would probably rate Mayor Taylor a flat B. I don't have much bad to say, but I also I would definitely need to know more to give him a true A. So.
Okay. And
yeah, personally, I'll admit I'm not as much of an expert on city politics as much as our guests here, and I met Mr. Taylor a few times, and I think he's a good leader. Everyone else has given him B, so I'm just going to go with the crowd and say, hey, if you guys who know a lot about what's going on in city politics are willing to grade him in that way, I'll also give him a B. I think he's done a relatively good job. As a mayor, I'm hoping that he wins re-election in 2026.
Okay, nice, nice. Now we're going to move over to the city council where it's conflict. Now I see the same thing happen on the county level, but it seems like the council, which is majority Democrat, and the mayor is Republican. I really wish that it was nonpartisan. I really wish that people just got in there and worked. But it seems like there's a lot of opposition. There's a lot of the council doesn't seem to ever agree with the mayor. Maybe they do. I just don't see it. As far as what they're doing with their community, well, I actually live in Mr. Doughty's district, and I haven't seen a town hall or a city hall or meeting with that group. So
you'd say there's a lack of transparency on the behalf of some of the members on the city council.
I mean, well, yeah, I could say that also. Yes, I mean,
Okay.
you don't have to register to speak at the end of a council meeting for the county, but I think that you do per city.
I believe that's the case.
They changed that to that point now, so you've got to.
You have to register.
You have
can't
to-
just go in for like public comment or whatever it might be.
Yeah, he changed it to registration.
What would one
Registration,
register
okay.
as? How does that work?
What's that again?
What would one register as? Like register their district and then where they live, or is it?
You just register to speak. It ain't even asking you too many questions. You just
No.
got to put your name in to have public comment now.
I understand.
Which has changed. Before, like you said, you showed up and you just had public comment towards the end of the meeting. But when the density project was going on and they had so many people had so much to say, I'll say the city council president decided to make some changes to how the protocol was. And now you have to check in or sign in ahead of time.
I see. Do people have to register to just like be in attendance too, or just to speak?
No, just to speak.
Just to speak. Okay. I see.
So with that in mind, if you personally myself, I've got to give the city council a D. Okay. Who wants to go next? on that one?
Well, with respect to the city council, I mean, again, I haven't had a lot of experience with the city council at large, but I found many members on the city council to be quite pleasant, but their cohesion with the mayor has been, I would definitely, on the part of cohesion, I'd rate it a solid D or even an F, because, I feel they could definitely try to work with the mayor more, and I feel like the partisan divide between the council and the mayor has made for a really rotten environment. So
what's your grade?
I'd probably rate them a C or D.
All right.
I'll give a C and I'll tell my reasons why. One, council people are supposed to be representative of their district. They're not supposed to have personal agendas and things that they want to do. You're supposed to represent the people in your district. The platform that everyone ran on, sometimes people aren't standing on. Again, affordable housing is no longer a thing. Everyone ran on that platform though. And we ain't seen anything about affordable housing. Again, they did try to start a council of people to come and continue to do the talking, but I'm tired of those meetings. I'm tired of just meeting to talk with no action plan afterwards. We can't have an egotistical president as a city council leader. There's no way that we are having hearings and the public and the mayor himself are being disrespected in public view. Everyone should have a voice, even our mayor, So to be disrespectful on camera in front of people and tell people what they should and shouldn't be able to do, to me is just egotistical, right? Just keeping it real 100. I like him. I know him. I know a lot of others that sit on the council. But the objective is to work in cohesion. We have to learn to work together. No matter what you may want or he may want or he may want, if we're charged with making something better for our community, we have to put our egos to the side and make our community better, right? So it's coming in, having collaboration, and making sacrifices. He may want some things. So this time he may have to give up what he wants so we can get the better for the greater good. But we all got to learn to sacrifice, right? It shouldn't be him always sacrificing or him always making the sacrifices. And I just feel like people need to learn also how to be heard, right? If you have something to say it. I think sometimes council people have more to say when those meetings are going on, and sometimes they'll just shut up and say nothing instead of really being vocal at that moment in time. What best place to say the things where you really feel in public record, right?
Right.
And people really know what you stand for, and people don't have to second guess or think that you were okay with what was going on because you just sat there silently. But I would give them a C. I would give them a C because there are council people who are trying to work. Are the town halls happening like you said? No. Everybody ran on that campaign as well, that they would have more town halls and they would be more transparent. Transparency is a false thing when it comes to the city council because everyone has their own agendas. So you can't be transparent when you're truly not working with everyone and being honest amongst one another. And they don't get along. You get along in public eye, cool. Behind closed doors, a lot of these people don't like each other. Right, that's just the reality of it. So I just think we need to get more people to the table that are willing, no matter what their backgrounds are, whatever their party is, the greater good is about our city. Is our city growing? Is our city better? So I would have to give them a grade of a C right now, because there are some who are trying, but there are some I feel like are just totally against everything the mayor is trying to do, totally against everything that's trying to, his vision for our city is his vision as mayor. You either can support it or vote against it, but you shouldn't make it personable, right?
Yeah.
So now we want to real quickly go over the report card for the county side of government.
Ooh, county council.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna start
Is
with
this
the
county council or county executive?
Oh,
Or should we do
both.
a report card about maybe like the whole thing itself?
No,
or-
no. I mean, if you want to group them together and say something at the end of it, yes. But I want to break it down first.
Okay.
Why? Because a lot of times, at one point, the legislative part of the county wanted to get rid of the executive form.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
to get those two to actually work together, it's like, mixing oil and water. So with that in mind, I want to start with the county council part, and I'll start with myself. This is where I actually spent a lot of time at the county council, and I'm interviewing, we're interviewing actually the council president,
Yeah,
John
John
Cannon,
Cannon.
within the next few weeks. Again, I don't see I'm seeing more town halls happening now, but surprise, surprise, it's also election season. I've seen a lot of bickering going back and forth between the executive's office and the county council. One thing I want to say about the council is they're there to legislate. They're there to introduce laws. They're in there to represent the people, and I'm not seeing that a lot. I'm not now. You may see that out of maybe one or two of them in there. I know James Wynn has been very active on the west side and in his district, and I'm pretty sure he's at some of the other ones because he is at large. And I was just gotten word that I know that John Cannon, he does go to a lot of the events. There was just a steak dinner on the west side, and him and his wife was there, and that's great to be there for that. And I know some of the others may go to the fire halls, but as far as working as the legislative part of form of government, I don't see much. I still see DAF tanks that haven't been addressed. That's been going on since the last group was in there. I'm seeing a lot of finger point and say, well, the executive didn't do this, but the executive didn't do that. So I really can't give them a good grade. I'm not going to give them a bad grade, because there are, as Jermichael said earlier about the city council, there are those that are trying. There really is. So I'm going to have to give them a C.
I concur. I will give them a C as well. The bickering back and forth has been an issue for a very long time. And a lot of times it's within party. That's the crazy part for me sometimes, right? It's people that are in the same party that still can't get along. But in order for our county to be better, Salisbury's the biggest city in that county, but our governments locally both have to learn how to work cohesively. Like, the objective is for us to have a better county and be one of the better counties in the state. If that's truly the goal, then we have to learn how to work together and make sound decisions for our county and the cities that are in our county together, right? Nobody should be pointing fingers or trying to get rid of positions. I thought that was one of the dumbest, my opinion, one of the dumbest things in the world to say, because checks and balances is needed. And if the legislation is doing their job, there's a balance to what the county executive can do. So, if people voted her in, they wanted her there, and I think we should keep that democratic process for people to vote people in. Whether you like it or what they have going on or not, then that's something different. But
If
we
you
should
don't like
always have a
them.
democratical process.
What I will say is when I started getting involved here in Wycomico County, there was that vote against and vote for. There was the question A issue, where they wanted to get rid of the county executive, that form of government, and they're just, from my point of view, there was just a lot of infighting, a lot of division, a lot of just the county council seeming like they wanted to just get rid of a position totally just because they don't like an individual who's serving in that position. I don't think that's productive. I don't think that's something that would ultimately lead to success if it had succeeded. Now, of course, the people voted against question A, and it was, and we're going to continue having the county executive form of government, which I think is a good thing. But currently, it seems like there are a lot of instances where the county council is not doing its best to work with the county executive and with the members of the executive branch of our government, which I think is, I don't think it's a productive thing. I think in order to have success and to make a positive impact in our community, people have to collaborate. They have to get past personal issues and just work together for the good of the community. So I'll give them a C-.
All right, and Jermichael, what did you give
Give
him?
them a C.
You gave him a C? Okay. And
Yeah, so I'd say again, I'm not as versed on county politics as I probably should be, being a Wycomico County resident. But I'm all the way up on the other side of the shore, so we're upper portion of the shore.
College,
so
yeah.
yeah. So but yeah, with respect to the vote for question A to get rid of the county executive, I thought it was just despicable. I think we should not utilize measures like doing away with a figure in government just because it may suit us at the present point. Because what's to stop them from next session regretting the decision and bringing it right back on, which we've seen to be the case in other areas where the county executive question has been raised, or similar questions which have been again raised for a specific political reason, and then they may rescind this motion once not motion, but
So you giving them a C?
I suppose I would.
I'm sorry. I don't want to tell you what grade.
No
Wow.
worries. Well, I'd probably give them a bit lower than a C,
Okay,
just
well,
because I think
okay.
it's a bit ridiculous, in my personal opinion. But
Okay. So
yeah.
you're going with a D?
Probably a D, yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you have something to add, Deborah?
For sure, yeah. So this is one of the things that I forgot to mention, actually. I know one of the people that's running for county council, or county executive, rather. One of the people running for county executive, Michelle Gregory, who I know some people don't necessarily have their problems with. But as far as I know, I think she was kind of supporting the vote for question A campaign, which would have done away with the executive form of government. Now she's running for a position that she wanted to get rid of in the first place.
Right.
To me, that seems really comical, really funny. I mean, like, how do you take someone like that serious, where they're trying to get rid of a form of government, and then less than a year later, actually less than 6 months later, they run for that position that they were trying to get away. So I think it's hilarious that some people will switch so quickly. It really shows the personal bias. That they don't want to do these kinds of things for the good of the community. They want to do it because they don't like the people that are serving in particular positions.
This next one will be about the county executive and the job that that whole office has, not just the person, but the whole office has done. I'll speak first, and I guess those that know me would probably say, well, wait a minute, you were in her inauguration. Yes, I was. And actually being a minister, sometimes I say things that our county executive does not like, but she at least takes it into consideration. The office does phenomenal. One of the reasons why I'm even actually did Bridging the Gap, because of the west side of this county, down Nanticoke and all that area down there that got overlooked. There is now a task force down there, thanks to our executive. There's other things that are happening down there. I think she's done a great job with that. I think that all the pressure she has gotten from the council at times has made her snap back. But over the last year and a half, she's done a phenomenal job of containing that enthusiasm, if you will, and getting a lot better. I would definitely give her I want to give her a B plus, and the only reason why is I'm not giving her an A is because of there is still work to be done, and that's not putting her down. That's just saying there's still work to be done.
Mm-hmm. I'll give her a B. I know her personally. Worked with her when she was a teacher at Bennett Middle School. I just truly feel at times, like you said, the heated back and forth was more of the issue for me. I feel like when we are in political positions, we have a standard to uphold ourselves. We are human. But there's still a standard that we're supposed to uphold ourselves to. The back and forth was different for me, but I believe she's doing a wonderful job. Like I said, I sit on several boards for the county. I think what people have to truly understand when people are in these positions is people come with a vision, what they want to see in that position. So if that's her vision for the county, who are we to justify or to try to tell her it's not right? She's in the position. She makes the vision that she sees fit, and then the county council has to vote upon that, right? So again, when you have people in these positions, we have to look at the long run, look at the long game. Give her time to see what it looks like till the next time it's time to vote. And then during that time period, if she has made some changes or made our county better, then of course you put her back in the position, right? But if not, we look at who the opposition is and see if we can get somebody else in the position. But so far, while she's handled the position, I think she's handled it very well to be the first woman that we've had in that position.
Sure.
Yeah. I actually really appreciate Julie Giordano as our current county executive. I feel like her background, again, as you said, as a teacher at Bennett Middle, has made her a really, I would say, really aware candidate and a really aware county executive. And I think that is complemented by her, by her, behavior in office. I think, yes, there have been some roadblocks with respect to conduct between her and the council, but I think again, as county executive, I think she's done a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
I think transparency has been one of her biggest things, and I really appreciate that in a county executive. I think a lot of county executives will hide behind their office, and there will be kind of like this smoggy kind of perception of their office, and I think Julia's been incredibly transparent, and like Mayor Taylor, incredibly down to earth, and I just again I really appreciate that. So my perspective on the issue is a little bit surface value, but face value rather. But I would actually grade her an A. I think I would definitely vote for her again, and I think she's just doing a phenomenal job with the cards that have been dealt to her. So
Okay.
Yeah, I actually met Julie on the same day that I met Danny, and that was back in, I think it was September or August. It was
Is
at
that
the
going to
Crab
affect
Fest.
her grade?
Oh no, don't worry. Yes, it actually raises it.
Okay.
But yeah, I met her at a crab feast. Ever since I've known her, she's been a very, very hard worker. She was out there on the campaign trail basically every day, knocking on doors, trying to get the word out about certain things, whether it was promoting certain candidates that were in alignment with Republican ideals, fighting against this Question A thing. And after the election, she's still proven herself to be just a remarkable fighter,
Absolutely.
Politically skilled, a good leader. I think she was able to handle the budget thing pretty well. And she was talking about it when she was on here with us a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
And I was like, wow, that's just really smart. I think she's done a great job. Similar to Danny, I will have to give her an A. And I think she just has, I think she's a very skilled and competent leader. So I would say that's really where I admire Julie. So I think that's one of the big things influencing my grade is just her being a good leader. Thank you, everybody, for watching Bridging the Gap. This has been one of your hosts, Colin McEvers.
I'm David James.
I'm Jermichael Mitchell.
And I'm Daniel McBride.
Thank you. See you next episode.
Chopping it
Thank
up.
you.